On today's video, we're going to talk about some sports bar security pitfalls and how to avoid them, starting right now. Hey everybody, my name is Perry. I'm a nightlife security professional as well as a director of security at a large Phoenix nightclub. Here at BouncerTips, we talk about tips, tricks, and we talk about the tools that we use here in the nightlife security industry. If this is the type of content that you're interested in, please make sure you consider hitting that subscribe button. Also make sure you hit that little notification bell so you get updates of future content. Now here at BouncerTips, I really do enjoy having a discussion with the people that subscribe to my channel. So if you would, in the comment section, leave your name, let me know that you subscribed, and I'll welcome you personally to the channel. As I mentioned in my opening, I'm a director of security at a large Phoenix, Arizona-based nightclub. One thing that makes my club a little bit unique, not only is it a nightclub with DJs, bottle service, and VIP areas, but it's also one of the biggest sports bars in Arizona, with over 60 televisions and multiple big screens. As a large sports bar, we typically host UFC pay-per-view events, as well as World Championship Boxing, and we're also the home for 3 separate American University alumni associations that watch all of their games at our establishment. On top of that, we're also officially recognized by the Green Bay Packers as an official establishment to watch Packer games here in Arizona. And when they came to Arizona during the playoffs a few years back, we actually held, in conjunction with the Green Bay Packers, a large prep rally that had several thousand Packer fans at the event. As you may be able to tell, my establishment caters to a lot of different types of crowd, and the sports bar has some unique characteristics that have different security issues from nightclubs. And we're going to talk about some of those differences today and go through some things that you should watch out for if you're a sports bar. So let's get into it. The first pitfall a lot of sports bars fall into is not thinking about rivalries. Sports rivalries can be very deep-rooted. They can hold a lot of animosity and a lot of frustration that can spill over if you're not careful. These rivalries can lead to disagreements, taunting, heated arguments, as well as violence. So it's important that you take in consideration who you're placing next to each other inside of a sports bar. For example, if you're going to have the Boston Red Sox on this TV, it's probably not a great idea to have the Yankees on a TV right next to it. Those two fan bases are going to mix and you're going to have some issues. And for my European friends, if you put the Manchester United on one TV, you want to make sure you put Liverpool on a different area inside the establishment. Because as those fan bases interact, you might have to deal with fights, you might have to deal with outbursts, and things can escalate fairly quickly in stressful situations. So you want to make sure that you avoid placing 2 rival teams right next to each other. And the best way to do that is to do some planning and figure out your scheme inside the bar before you set up which TVs are going to show what events. A second pitfall that I see a lot of sports bars fall into, and it could be easily avoided by doing the planning that we talked about on the first pitfall, is making sure that you do not change a game in the middle of the game. I don't care how out of hand the game has gotten as far as score, some fans in the bar want to watch the game in its entirety. So do not switch a game if you can avoid it, because people will get upset, they will get angry, and it actually can cause some security issues with people getting out of hand inside the establishment if they've been drinking if you switch their game off. So it's important that you plan ahead and make sure you plan out when and how long you're going to have to tie up a television for a certain sporting event. Another pitfall situation a lot of sports bars fall into is what I call the camper situation. Campers are a specific type of clientele that, to get to the club before the event starts, claim a table or a seat and hold that seat all throughout the day. Now there's 2 types of campers that typically exist. One is the type of camper that sits there throughout the day buying food, drink, and is generally a great customer to have and will allow you to hold that table and make that table profitable. The second type of camper is a person that sits there all day, really doesn't order much food or drink, and just ties up that seat throughout an entire day. That isn't a great situation for bars because it's not turning over customers fast enough to turn a profit. A tool you can utilize to avoid campers is by implementing at your tables a minimum spend rule. If they want to reserve a table for a sporting event, they have to have a minimum spend. Meaning if they're going to reserve that table, there's a $100 minimum spend for that amount of time that they're at that table if the reservation is going to be held. If they don't meet that $100, what they can do is they can get a gift card for another visit into the establishment. This way you know that the establishment's going to make a little bit of money, and also you're going to take care of guests that take care of you. A fourth pitfall with sports bars, and it also involves the camper situation, is over-serving guests. A lot of times when campers are sitting there, they'll order drinks throughout the day, and after several hours of consuming drinks at a reasonable pace, the accumulative effect of alcohol will start to kick in. Next thing you know, you have an extremely intoxicated person, and they don't even realize it until they try to stand up. Once they stand up, you're starting to see the effects of intoxication. So what you need to do is make sure you keep an eye on how much alcohol is being served to certain groups on your floor. And if you feel that the table is getting too many trips with too much alcohol, it's your job to talk to the server to attempt to try to slow them down. The last thing you want is an intoxicated individual at your establishment. By doing what I call a slow play, meaning you go to the server, tell them to slow it down a little bit, maybe take a little extra time ordering a drink before you bring it to the table, or helping them pace the drinks out by getting glasses of water to that table before you deliver the extra alcohol. It's a way to slow down the drinking process, allow the guests to process that alcohol a little bit quicker so you don't have over-intoxication situation. Most major problems that exist inside of a bar are caused by over-serving the patron. So you want to make sure you work with the staff that's serving the guests. Also, you want to make sure you're monitoring how much alcohol is going out to the floor so you don't have to deal with problems later on. Before I get in the final pitfall, I want to just give a quick channel update. As of today, we're nearly at 500 subscribers, which is unbelievable to me. It's awesome, and I thank you very much for you spending the time watching me talk about the nightlife security industry. However, over the past couple weeks, you may have noticed that I haven't been uploading quite regularly. And there's a reason for that. A couple of things in my personal life, but I won't get into that. But mostly it's my work schedule. Things have increased. When I started this channel back in April, it was our slow season. Now we're in the middle of football season. We've had 2 championship boxing events over the last month, and we've also had a lot of tourists come back into town. So it's really slowed down my ability to spend time working on this. When I started this channel back in April, I had never stood in front of a camera and talked to people before like this. I've never edited a video. I've never done any of the things that are involved with putting out a YouTube video. So with that, it was a huge learning curve for me. So a lot of times it takes me several hours, sometimes as many as 10 hours to do a video. And as we've gotten busier at my work, it's been more difficult for me to put this all together, and I do apologize for that. With that being said, I want to let you know that over the next couple weeks, there might be sporadic video updates. However, after the first of the year, it's my intention to really hit this channel hard and build it into something that you and I can be proud of. Like I said, over the next couple of months, I really want to hone in what I want to do with this channel for the coming year. And I want to go ahead and actually start doing live streams. I want to do some interactive interviews with guests. I'm going to change some of the ways that I shoot videos. I'm building a new studio in another room to make it a little bit more efficient for my video production. So over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be some changes to what's going on here at the channel. I want to hit YouTube really hard and build this channel into the #1 bouncer channel on YouTube. And I need your help. What I need from you is I need you to give me some ideas of content that you want to know about. So if you would, in the comment section, give me some ideas of certain things that you would like to see on this channel. Again, I appreciate everything that you guys do. Now on to the final pitfall. Another pitfall you'll see a lot of times in sports bars is what I call the walkout. What you need to do is you need to make sure that your servers are aware, talk to your serving staff about getting the checks to the guests before the end of the game. If the game is about to end, say it's a football game and there's 4 quarters, you should have the check to their table in the middle of the 3rd quarter so they can pay their tab before the end of the game. A lot of times when there's commotions, there's new customers coming in to watch the 2nd set of games, there can be turnaround in the club itself, and people can lose track of whether they paid for the tab or didn't pay for the tab, or they can just try to get out and pull something and leave the establishment without paying. The servers need to be on top of it, along with security, watching out for guests that are just getting up and leaving without paying their tabs. So there's some pitfalls that security officers need to be aware of in a sports bar. If you can think of some others, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know some other thoughts that you have on the subject. In the meantime, make sure you hit that subscribe button, Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to know more about the nightclub security industry, hit this button right here, and you've just been taken beyond the ropes. Have a great day.